ശശിയുടെ ഇപ്പോൾ എത്ര ഇലക്ഷനായി കവർ ചെയ്യണു?
എൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ ഇലക്ഷൻ 1987, അതിനുശേഷമുള്ള മിക്കവാറും എല്ലാ ഇലക്ഷനും 2016 അസംബ്ലിയും പിന്നീടുള്ള പാർലമെൻറ്റ് ഇലക്ഷനും വിദേശത്തായിരുന്നു.
ഈ ഒരു ഇലക്ഷനിൽ ആരാണ് ഒരു സ്റ്റാർ ക്യാമ്പയിനർ?
അതിന് സംശയമൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ, നമ്മുടെ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി പിണറായി വിജയൻ തന്നെ.
ക്യാപ്റ്റൻ?
അതെ, ക്യാപ്റ്റൻ.
അത് കഴിഞ്ഞാലുള്ളൊരു സ്റ്റാർ ക്യാമ്പയിനർ CPM-ന്
പാർട്ടി ഹൈറാർക്കി വെച്ചിട്ടും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇന്നത്തെ ഒരു പിന്തുണ വെച്ചിട്ടുമൊക്കെ സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരി ഇന്നത്തെ സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ വളരെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു ക്യാമ്പയിനർ എന്ന നിലയിൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇടപഴകുന്നതെന്ന് നമുക്ക് കാണേണ്ടത് തന്നെയാണ്.
മാതൃഭൂമി ഡെപ്യൂട്ടി എഡിറ്റർ PP ശശീന്ദ്രനുമൊത്ത് സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരിയുടെ പ്രചാരണ കാഴ്ചകളിലേക്ക്.
That like in 1957, when the people of Kerala showed a new path to the people of India and direction of Indian politics, in 2021, a similar situation is arisen whereby a new direction for India is required from the assaults on our constitutional order, secularism and democracy that are being mounted today. And in this election, by re-electing the LDF, you will create history and you will discharge your responsibility in showing the people of India the new direction of alternative policies, alternative path, defense of India, defense of our motherland as our constitution defines.
ഇഞ്ചോടിഞ്ച് പോരാട്ടം അവസാന ഘട്ടത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തുകയാണ് ഈ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പിൽ. താരത്തിളക്കമുള്ള ഒട്ടേറെ പേർ പ്രചാരണ രംഗത്ത് സജീവമാകുന്നു. സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരി നമുക്കൊപ്പം ചേരുന്നു. കോമ്രേഡ്, your friend Rahul Gandhi,
Yes.
he's already
He
here.
is an MP from here.
Okay, oh.
this is where he's been elected from.
Do you know how to swim?
I don't, because I couldn't because learn it when I was young because of a medical problem. I used to bleed from my nose, so I had to be operated, and then they said avoid water, and after that I never managed to go.
But Rahul jumped into sea.
Good, I saw that. I saw the social media postings of that. Good optics, some people may enjoy it.
Do you think it's a joke or a election stunt?
I don't think it will have any impact on elections. Maybe it was just curiosity to know how these deep sea fishing is done or what it is, etc. But these are all optics, as I said. I mean, these optics really do not determine the outcome of any election. Elections have got to do with your day-to-day life and your future, your children, and your survival with this sort of a destruction of the Indian constitution that is going on.
Our team met you there in Delhi last week itself.
Yeah.
Our campaign is going on, and you are the star campaigner naturally.
Yeah.
You are visiting almost all the districts.
Yes.
And what's your feel right now?
Well, the feeling right now is that there is a tremendous degree of acceptance of the manner in which the LDF government worked in the last 5 years. Because Kerala was subjected to, very unfortunately, to a large number of natural disasters also. Apart from the COVID and the pandemic and the lockdown and all the associated problems, you had cyclones, you had floods. And the one thing that is there is always amazed everybody, not only in India but in the world, that when a crisis strikes Kerala, the people of Kerala rise up as one man. I mean, in politics there could be bitter fights, we'll have bitter political contests, etc., etc. But when it's actually people's issues, they give, and there the government played a very big, important role in mobilizing and then bringing together all this. And so all this has stood in good faith. And apart from that, this entire severe damage being done, or destruction, I would say, of the Indian Constitution, whether it was Article 370 or it was CAA and various other things that were brought in by the central government, Kerala was one assembly that actually disapproved of many of these. And it is one assembly that actually said they will not implement the agri laws, and in fact drew up their own alternative for agriculture for farmers in Kerala. Now these have earned a lot of good, not merely appreciation in Kerala among the voters, but also in India.
Amit Shah is also campaigning here right now. He says, we'll show you how to implement CAA here in Kerala.
And you heard him 2 days ago in Assam.
Yeah.
What did he say? We will not implement the CAA. And in Bengal, a day before that, he said he'll implement the CAA. And till date, with great fanfare, they brought it and they bulldozed it through the parliament. The rules are not yet framed. Sometimes he says that after the COVID is over, that he will frame the rules. But the point is very clear. It's not so much connected to do anything with infiltration or illegal migrants or anything. It is an instrument for political polarization, communal polarization. And that is exactly what they want to use it for.
Do you think it will work in Kerala?
I'm nearly 100% sure, but I hope I'm right, that it shouldn't work in Kerala. It will not work in Kerala. Because till today, I must say, this is the only state where a human being is treated as a human being first and then on the basis of his other identities. It's a very, very elevating concept. I mean, you feel so good about it that you have the triumph of humanism, so to speak. You are a human being, I'm a human being. I don't know what is your faith, what is your caste, what is your religion, etc. But when we interact as two fellow human beings. That is how it should be. Now, in that sort of an atmosphere, for them to succeed with the CIA and this sort of a polarization and deepening polarization which they want to achieve, I don't think that will work in Kerala. And I think that is why they have to be rejected in a very emphatic manner. Because it's CIA or Article 370, or they'll bring up things like the love jihad, what they call love jihad, interfaith marriages thing, and persecute all the minority faiths, and telling the youth what? You cannot decide whom you want to live with in your life. I will decide for you. I'll tell you who you can marry. I mean, the youth must revolt. I mean, there's no other way. I mean, it is their inherent right to decide on how they want to live their life. This is something that I don't think the youth of Kerala is going to accept.
It's one of their main campaign material, this love jihad.
I know, that is their material all over the country. Because unless communal polarization is deepened, unless the communal Hindutva vote bank is consolidated, they cannot gain elections. Because on every other front, look at unemployment, look at your people's hunger, look at all the global indices where India's downslide is so palpable and so big. I mean, from freedom index to democracy index to your hunger index, and the worst malnutrition of children in the world. On every other issue, they don't have anything positive. Only positive thing they want to achieve is through communal polarization.
But here they bring together both the communities, Christians and Muslims, together. Another sort of social engineering.
They will try to bring together. That they've always attempted. They would want symbolic faces. So, not one single Muslim MP elected since 2014 from the ruling party. Not one single Muslim, I think, MLA elected in UP. Or look at, we have very sizable minority populations. So what is the message you are sending? You are sending India actually belongs to only one faith, one community. The rest of you are second class. But that is not how India became India, how India became free. All these communities put together who fought for our freedom.
Do you think all the opposition parties succeeded to campaign this approach?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, in the sense that we are trying to bring them together, they all come at times on a joint platform. And then they splinter out. And there again, what the BJP is doing is a very, very lethal subversion of democracy. I say they have now brought in a new Trishulam. Provided the only government, CPM-led LDF, the only government in the whole of India today amongst all state governments, where more than 580 of the promises made, of the 600 promises made in the manifesto of the LDF last time have already been implemented. The rest are in the process. There's no other government with that sort of a record. There's no government with the sort of a record of upholding the principles of humanism. what is called insaniyat. Kerala is the only state in the country today where there is no atmosphere of hate and violence. It is the only state in the whole of India where every human being can be a human being first, and then he can be a Muslim or a Christian or a Hindu or a Sikh or whatever religious faith he may choose, which the state will protect, which the government will protect. I say they have now brought in a new Trishulam. One is the money power they have.
Yeah.
And using that massive money power through all sorts of illegal means, buy up people. The second part of the Trishulam is the CBI. Third is the ED. So these three are used to browbeat the opposition. This is their democracy. Now this is something that is absolutely unacceptable. So that's why they have to be defeated, and they will be.
BJP and Congress, they are simultaneously attacking all these.
That's it, they are playing in tandem. That's what I said, more than 50% of the new MLAs of the BJP are from the Congress party. Karnataka, the Congress party won, the BJP is in government. How? Madhya Pradesh, Congress party won, BJP is in government.
Do you think such an Operation Kamala will be happen here in Kerala?
No, I don't think what they are conceiving it of will happen in Kerala. But they'll try their best. They'll try their best to vitiate this atmosphere through communal poison, hatred. Hopefully not violence, I mean, which they do in UP and Bihar and the other parts.
Last week, BJP state president was talking about that if we win 35 seats, we will roll the Kerala.
We will form the government.
Yeah, we will form. How it will happen?
Well, they think their All India formula will work. Their All India formula is whoever wins the election, you win. But I'll form the government.
Okay. So same pattern.
The same pattern they want to do it here. Maybe they're banking on their ability to buy up a lot of the opposition MPs, which will essentially be the UDF MPs.
Oh.
I mean MLAs, I'm sorry.
2 floods, Corona, all these things happened. But we have a crisis manager here. That's your main, and he's your main campaigner here in Kerala. This time the election is so Pinarayi-centric. Do you feel so?
Well, an incumbent chief minister, when he's recontesting, that is bound to happen. I mean, that's nothing unnatural. I mean, that is always the case when you're going in for your second election. And after all, I mean, I believe the term that is required is that he is the captain of the city.
So
and captain, you must go into the etymology of the word captain. It has got to do with a lot with your ancient Kerala. Kapitan.
Yeah.
He is the one who looks after the welfare of all the fishermen, all the people on the sea, on the water. So that tradition is actually, that legacy is actually coming out. That is the person who can look after. I mean, and it can never be one individual. It will be a whole setup, and that's what the CPM and the LDF are.
But it's very interesting. You're just shuffling your cards. It means you removed almost half of your leadership from parliamentary politics.
No, that is the principle we follow. Fortunately for India, there are still political parties like us who have some principles. And I'm sure all of you were also saying a lot of things when I did not proceed to become a third-term Rajya Sabha member. Same principle.
yeah, okay.
2 terms, continuous terms you served, and therefore you will not go into it. 3 times I had the opportunity to become the Rajya Sabha member again.
Many,
but I didn't. The same yardstick will apply to all.
many of the opinion polls are for LDF again coming to power. No? What is your approach about the opinion polls?
Opinion polls are opinion polls, but remember one thing: Kerala people and the electorate are very, very highly polarized, not communal polarized, but political polarized. And Kerala voter, I think, is the most conscious political voter in the country. And always, if you remember, the difference between the LDF and UDF, in absolute terms of the number of votes, was only around 2 lakh votes, all over the state. So it's a very, very narrow, tough battle. I mean, so it's like about 4% of the people who are not with the LDF or the UDF, where they move will decide.
That singing.
Now this 4%, where the move is not that, how much will BJP cut? From where? From whom? So there are lots of, there are things that are really cannot be predicted or anticipated. So it will always be in a close fight. It'll be a close fight, but the edge is with us. Today I have come to ask you to vote for him, to elect him, so that you can create history in Kerala by breaking the tradition of a change of government every 5 years, and that is based on the performance of the LDF government. Today not only a new India is being created when you look at these youngsters, with in one hand they have our national flag, in the other hand they have the Indian Constitution, and they tell Modi and Amit Shah, you may want to destroy the Constitution, but this younger generation will save India today, will save the Indian Constitution, will save the secular democratic foundations of India, and build a new Kerala and a new India.
Last time BJP got 1 seat. What's your prediction? Do you think they will maintain?
They got that 1 seat by the admission of that seat, that MLA itself, because of the support of the Congress party. And I was there in the campaign last time in Nemam, and I told our candidate, Shivan Gutti, that your fight is not with the Congress or the UDF, it's with the BJP.
So you think BJP is the main opponent there?
Because it was obvious from the, when you walk through the constituency and see it, many of the Congress strongholds, etc., the complete, lack of enthusiasm there, things like that. Obviously some deal has been done, and now he himself admitted.
To defend BJP is to opt the LDF, what for?
You see, you would require a coming together of all sincere, secular-minded forces in the country. Every state has its own specificity. And naturally, because India's diversity is so wide and so deep, which is good, that is our richness. So every state will have its own different political equations. But when it comes to the national level, you will require that sincerity of your commitment to defend the Indian Constitution, the constitutional order, and what we are. Remember, I'll give you one example. 2004, left 61 members of the left parties entered Lok Sabha. 57 entered Lok Sabha defeating Congress candidates. But then the 61 supported the Manmohan Singh government in the interest of India. To safeguard, not let the communal forces come back to control the government. So you require that sort of a degree of commitment, and such forces will all have to come together.
Do you expect cooperation with the Congress in Kerala in future years?
It depends on them. I don't know whether, I hope they are cooperating with each other now, within the Congress. It all depends on them. So what is the objective? What do you want to achieve? Now all these issues that are there, every day something or the other to divert the attention. Now this electoral rolls thing that they brought up.
Yes.
And this is under the Election Commission of India. There is a declared process by which date a new voter can enter, by which date an objection to this new voter can be filed, by which date that objection will be considered and acted upon. All that happened. Nothing was done. Now suddenly before the...
But opposition leader is saying that almost around 7 lakh double votes in the list.
No, but why was it saying now? The list was published much earlier. There was a timetable there saying that if you have objections to it...
The election commission says all the political parties were sleeping at that time.
I know, but if they wake up now, what can I... It's not my fault.
Comrade, before winding it up, we just would like to know from you. It's the single largest electoral issue here in Kerala right now.
Right now is the question of maintaining the unity and integrity and as defined by our constitution in India, in Kerala. That is a harmony which exists in Kerala that should not be disturbed, that cannot be vitiated. And at the same time offer alternative policy approaches to what the central government is doing, the loot of our national wealth, like privatization of everything that is happening, like virtually sending our farmers to their death, with all these new laws, etc., and the sort of hate and violence campaign that is being built up, and alternative policy direction to that. That the Kerala has shown in the last 5 years the potential, and that it should do. That will be the single most contribution for the rest of India. And I think apart from the welfare of the people, the future of the youth of Kerala, and all these things, these are important issues which this election outcome will determine.
ഭരണഘടനയാണ്, അതുമാത്രമാണ് പ്രധാനം. കേരളം രാജ്യത്തിന് കാണിക്കാനുള്ള മാതൃകയും അതുതന്നെയാവണം ഓർമ്മിപ്പിക്കുന്നു CPM-ന്റെ നക്ഷത്രത്തിളക്കമുള്ള ക്യാമ്പയിനർ സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരി.